This week, the best aquariums on YouTube include a Goliath tigerfish, a Moray eel pipe system, and a community of rainbow sharks. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to Matt Keeps Fish. Before we get started, I want to talk about why I'm doing these videos. And the reason is, I want to eat, entertain, advertise, and most importantly, teach. Although we may have larger YouTubers in the future, we're starting small, and that's because a lot of the smaller YouTubers get overlooked even though they have a lot of really good information. Not to mention, really cool tanks. Alright, so the first aquarium we're looking at here is by ShamuAquatics, and it's pretty standard. You've got a lot of plastic plants, you've got some, probably PetSmart decorations, white gravel, pretty standard. What is really cool about this tank is the kind of stocking that he has. Typically they say for territorial fish, just keep one. If you have a beta, you just keep one. But you may have heard about beta sororities. And for territorial cichlids, you may have heard, probably seen a lot of cichlid tanks where they just cram them full of cichlids. You can see there, yeah, they're chasing each other. Oh, so there you go. That's the dominant redtail shark right there. And you can see he's got his little territory. So they are territorial fish, just like African cichlids, just like betas. But somehow, you can even see the Chinese algae eaters going after him. Pause it there. You can see what he's doing here. It's really cool because just like with beta sororities, just like with those packed African cichlid tanks, he's realized that you can have a bunch of sharks together only if you meet certain criteria. And he talks about it later in his other videos. You need to have a big tank. I think this was 125 gallons. Now he's at a 240. You need to have a lot of sharks. You need to have 5. Typically, I was telling people, start with 8. Why take the risk? And you need to have a lot of hiding spots, places for them to weave around and break that line of sight so that the chase ends. And another great thing that he's got going here is you have a lot of rosaline sharks. You have a lot of bala sharks and maybe tetras and some other fish. A schooling fish is best to break up the action, to break up the fight, and those are ditherfish. Ditherfish are usually used to make shy fish comfortable, but they can also be used to make aggressive fish more passive, more peaceful. Now you can see with his newer tanks here that he's kind of moved away from the whole shark overstock method, because a big problem with that, with people who do overstock, whether it's a beta sorority, whether it's sharks, whether it's cichlids, is now you have a lot of the same thing. And sure, you can have some dithers in there, but a big portion of the bioload and of the space taken up in the aquarium is by one species, and it can get a little bit boring. However, because of what ShamuAquatics has taught through these videos, I've actually made plans for a shark tank in the future. And even more importantly, I've been able to teach other people how to do this because of his hands-on experience. It's also helped me to turn down the wrong people because I can give them a tangible reason as to why it's not going to work. So if you guys could do me a favor, go check out ShamuAquatics. He's got some really nice video quality of his fish, and he's got a really nice tank. All right, this tank is unlike anything I've ever seen. Like, this is the kind of tank that you would go to an aquarium gallery, like Ripley's Aquariums, and you would see something like this. Because just like the previous YouTuber, just like ShamuAquatics, a fish diary, is it a fish? It's fish diary, also has some fish put together that aren't usually put together. And there are a lot of them here. These are a bunch of different species of Moray eel. You can see there was a checkered one. He's got names for them. Again, guys, go to these channels, watch these videos if you find them interesting, because they have a lot of updates on them. This is, again, an older video. I'm just playing it because you can really see the pipes. But over time, he's really turned this into something that looks really natural as the algae's grown in. And he's tried a bunch of different species alongside these eels. Again, very cool spotted eel. He's had remoras with these eels. You could see, if he goes back to it, you'll see that there's monos. He's got a spiny lobster. I don't know if you guys saw that in the bottom corner. You can see the giant moray right there. There's the monos. Yeah. Really cool tank. Done a lot of really good plumbing on this tank too. How big is this? It was, oh yeah, it was over 1,000 gallons. And he's got this really cool system because these eels are gonna defecate in these tubes like crazy. So what he's got is like a blowout system that pushes water through the pipes so that it can then be drained through a drain in the bottom of the tank. Unlike anything I've ever seen. Really, really cool. It's so cool how they're just weaved through there. And there's so many eels that you're not seeing in this pipe system. Yeah, you can see right there. I think that's the Viper Moray. Or the Dragon Moray. Again, you guys gotta watch his channel. He's really, really got some cool stuff. And he's always changing it. He has a shark. We might see it in this video. He has another shark that likes to hide in the tubes. I think it's a, he said it was a, no, it's not a lemon shark. You guys will see it. Did I mark it down? It is, he had a fox face for a while. Bamboo shark, guys. It's so cool. He's got so much cool stuff in here. For the people that want the monster fish of saltwater, you know, usually you see coral, lots of coral tanks, but this guy's really put a focus on Moray eels. Just bat that coral and anemones out of the way. This is 100% focus on these guys, and it looks, I mean, it shows, right? Like, this is something that I want to do for freshwater eels. This is something that I would do for like peacock eels, you know? All those Asian freshwater eels. You can see the spiny lobster is so cool. This is another experiment. I love when people experiment like this. With backups, with safeties, because it's crazy the things that you could actually put together and have it work fairly well. It might be a lot more work, but it works, you know? So yeah, very cool tank by Fish Diary. And I really don't think I'd be able to, you can see cleaner shrimp right there. So cool. And this is one of those things. The cleaner, you can just sit by this tank, you feed the eels shrimp, like it's such an expensive tank. I don't know if he said how much it was. It's expensive. But you can see, you can just sit, have a snack, watch the tank, feed the eels some shrimp, some frozen shrimp, and then the cleaner shrimp will come over and they'll pick the leftovers out of the teeth of the eels, and the wrasses will come over and they'll pick the leftovers out of the teeth of the eels. It's such a cool tank. It's not the most natural. I mean, he does have some rock work to kind of fill it in so it doesn't just look like a glass box. It does end up looking more natural as the pipes get algaed over. But it's just so cool, guys. Anyways. All right, we better move on to the last one. But before we do that, guys, go check out Fish Diary. He has more gallons than subscribers right now, and we got to change that, okay? So check him out if you want to see some really cool natural Moray eel behaviors and some never before seen eel on eel interactions. So yeah. All right, the last tank we've got here is from Chainsawtrout, and the reason he has that name is starting to become very obvious on the bottom left. This tank has all the, it has the natural behaviors from the Moray eel tank, but he's just put so much money and time and focus onto the scape. This really looks like Jeremy Wade could be walking around in here looking for this fish right now. It looks like a natural biome that this fish would be living in. And what's really cool is you've got this giant fish, but then you've got all of the, you've got a little Chinese algae eater there, a golden algae eater. You've got a bunch of, they look like just minnows and barbs of some kind, all just swimming around, not caring at all, even though this giant fish is right here. And what you may think is that this fish is kind of slow, like he's not actually able to eat these fish because he's so big and cumbersome. But he's going to show in a second just how fast he is. Like, and did you see the teeth on him? If it doesn't show well enough in the video, I'm going to do a close-up on the teeth. Because this guy is a trout. This fish is a trout meets a chainsaw. Like, the way, I might replay a video. The way that he cuts down with his teeth is like, it's not like any normal animal, because the jaw, the bottom jaw opens like a person would. We have one jaw, right? We don't have a top jaw, that's just skull. We have a bottom jaw, and it comes up to chew, but with this fish, it has a top jaw as well. And they crush up and down with these giant teeth that are like an inch long. It is, I don't know what kind of fish store this guy got the chainsaw trout from, the Goliath tigerfish, but he made that fish store proud, I would think, because I don't know anyone who would be able to design a tank like this. Let's check the stats. It is, so he has 10 Eheim 2080s on it. That's a lot of filtration, dude. He's got 4,500 gallons for this fish. That meets the standard, you know? Like, what's kind of goes across the board here with all these fish that I really like to promote is when these fish keepers are adding something to their aquarium, they're making sure that they have a big space for it, right? I don't have big fish, but I try to make sure that the length of the tank is 10 times the length of the fish. And that's pretty much what these guys have done too. Now we go to ShamuAquatics. He's built a tank that is, he's not built a tank, he's bought a tank. Maybe he built it, I don't know. He has a tank that is, I think he said 5 feet, a 240 gallon. I think that's, point is he's got a tank that meets the basic needs of the fish. Like, there's a lot of stretching room for those fish. And that's relatively easy because a rainbow shark, a redtail shark, they might get like 6 inches. I think maybe 8 inches. I'll have to check them on that. But chainsaw trout has done the same thing for his chainsaw trout, even though this fish is a monster fish. And he's actually got a few of them. He had 3 at one point. I'm not sure if he still does, but he has at least 2 tanks. The other one was not as nicely scaped as this one. Still very nice, still plants in the aquarium. But this one really just looks like a river, like a natural, it looks like nature. It looks like a cut of nature. It's huge. Like it even exceeds, if this fish is a foot long, it exceeds my minimum. And then just to put, you know, just to flex a little bit, it's also 10 feet wide and 4 feet tall. I don't know how this guy does maintenance on this tank. Especially, you know, I'd like to see a video, if you're watching this, Chainsaw Trout, I'd like to see a video of how you clean this tank, because I do not know how you're putting your hands around a fish with inch-long teeth. That's kind of crazy to me. But anyways, it's a massive tank. It's got so many species in the tank with it, so many freshwater, like minnows and barbs and carp, I think. That kind of family. And they do disappear. That, you know, he has to restock regularly because this Goliath tigerfish is fast. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if he's got water that ends up on the floor every other day, but he's really showed that he's just that committed regardless. He's really put a lot of effort in, he's really put a lot of money into this tank, and it really shows. But it doesn't show in his subscribers. So once again, guys, if you want to see every day a clip of a Goliath tigerfish just chilling, or maybe he just destroys a goldfish at the surface of the water, then you absolutely have to subscribe to this guy. Really cool how you can see it hunt the way it would hunt in the wild. He's really just set a gold standard for keeping fish, because most monster fish keepers, if they had a Goliath tigerfish, and there's a few who do, they stick it in a 1,000-gallon tank, and that's the only thing in the tank other than the filters. There's nothing else. There's no substrate, there's no wood, there's no plants. It's just the fish and the leftovers of the things that have been fed to the fish. But this guy, Chainsaw Trout, he has really took it a step above. So if you liked this video, if you like these tanks, go subscribe to the people who made these tanks, because they've earned that much. If you like this style of video, let me know in the comments if I should keep doing these. If you have recommendations, give me your recommendations. I love to bring them onto the channel and see how they can teach us. We've learned a lot today, I think. If you have learned something from this video, if you learned something from these YouTubers and their tanks, leave it in the comments below. So yeah, guys, if you want to see more like this, leave a comment, let me know. If you like this video, leave a like. If you want to see more videos like this, as well as updates on my tanks, care guides, all that good stuff, subscribe, and I will see you guys on a sec.